Oh, third baseline
Yeah.
is better than first baseline.
Yes, and so, like, Frederick plays with all these kids, just runs around, he doesn't get bored.
Yeah.
You don't have the sun in your eyes like the first base.
Yeah, we don't,
Well,
usually don't, it's gonna be hot today.
Hanging out watching, and it's like a left-in bat.
look, I'm scared to death out there. I'm always watching, afraid.
I do. I'm watching for everybody around me because they all have phones and control.
Yeah, Ryan's like always on head on swivel, so I don't really pay much
It's
attention.
not enjoyable.
I didn't see Tracy chasing you at the park this morning.
Oh, look, she just told me I have to ride the bicycle. Look, she be walking, I ride the bicycle.
Okay.
You know why?
Like traffic or something.
Wait a little while.
Yeah, Bill is running behind.
Okay.
I'll give him a few minutes.
They coming from out of Baton Rouge.
I think he lives in Baton Rouge, I'm not sure.
I thought it was on this side, Slidell somewhere.
Oh.
I could,
Slidell, man, Covington.
Oh, that traffic is
It's a
scary.
nightmare.
yeah. That's why I go the back way.
Huh?
That's why I go the back way, 22 or either down 190.
Man, whenever I try to go that way, I always run into something. Then I have to do it before the school zone. I don't want to run into the school zone. What you say, man? Why you got all that paint on your clothes?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Another day. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna give him a few minutes. Okay. Not really. I beat it decided today. We were trying to figure that out last night. I thought he was, but I think his wife got to work tomorrow, and he said Little Over got some games, and he ain't that basketball stuff. So, yeah, I don't know if they playing tomorrow or today. I don't know yet. All I know is I got the gifts. And when I leave here, I'm going to give my mama a card, and my mom passed away. Yeah, no, my daughter's in Texas. And get my mom a card and get her some, put that money in there. That's what she want, and that's it.
My son's flirting out of school.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
You got a whole meeting held up waiting on you.
Sorry about that.
deductible there, man, on the pay now, unless you ain't got paid.
Hammond City Council special meeting, Saturday, May the 7th, 2022, at 9:34 a.m. Roll call, please.
Councilman Andrews,
Present.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Present.
Councilman Wells,
Present.
Councilman DiVittorio,
Present.
Councilman Leon.
He's on his way.
Even though it's not showing on the agenda, we'll still go ahead and do our prayer and pledge. Most gracious, loving Father, we thank you on this day that you woke us up this morning, clothed in our right mind with activity and use of our limbs. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for wisdom, peace, knowledge, and understanding. Father God, we thank you for the call and the purpose that you have placed on our life. But most of the Heavenly Father, on this morning, we thank you for Jesus, who is our high priest, and he ever make intercessions on our behalf. And we thank you, Father, that he who was righteous became unrighteous, that we may be righteous on today. Father God, we thank you that everything this morning will be done decent and pleasing and in your sight, where you will get all glory, you will get all honor and all praise. And Father God, I ask you continue to bless each council member, their families, continue to give them wisdom and knowledge and peace to lead from on high. Continue to bless our city administration. Continue to give them the tools that they need to continue to navigate through our issues and move our city forward. If there's a time we need you, Father God, we need you right now. So we just thank you for it all, because without you, we are nothing. We give you glory, honor, and praise, and thanks right now that you continue to cover our fire department, cover our city police right now, cover each and every citizen in our city right now. We thank you for it all. In Jesus' blood and name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Down to final adoption of an ordinance.
An ordinance to adopt a redistricting plan for the city of Hammond. Our presenter is Bill Blair from Strategic Demographics.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Again, this will be fairly short since we've covered all this material several times. As soon as the PowerPoint pulls up, we'll just show the two plans one more time. I think the big takeaways from the two alternatives in front of you, in front of us all today, is we had to get our population within the proper deviation. So the current districts that you are elected under today, as of today, were a bit out of the population deviation. 1, too low, 3, too high, 4, too low, 5, too high. So the first order of business is to equalize that population between these 5 districts. And secondarily, also examine the minority-majority districts to make sure they are maintained so they can elect the candidate of their choice under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And in my opinion, both of these plans in front of you today accomplish these things and becomes a question of which configuration makes more sense for the residents of the city of Hammond, for the representation, and since the 4, soon to be 5th of you represent those people, those are your decisions to make. The two plans are a function of discussions and preferences given to me to craft these plans, and they are in front of you today for a choice. Both of them, that's Plan A. This is a bit more of a, I won't say reimagining.
You can say.
Some
You can
don't
say
like reimagining. That's a word, but this is one alternative. B being the other alternative. Substantially, there's no radical changes. We're not moving District 1 south or District 4 east or whatnot. But they do make changes. But they both accomplish the two significant main goals that any jurisdiction must, which is equalize the population between the districts, so everybody has an equal, fair vote in the city of Hammond, and two, that we respect minority-majority representation in the city. Both of these plans accomplish this endeavor. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question. Go to plan, where we at? Plan A, please. Okay, plan A. Okay, I'm looking at District 3. And this is one of the issues that I have.
Okay.
When I look at Plan A, and I look at District 3, then I look at, and I think we're gonna have to point and show where Chapel Park at and Cypress Point.
Okay.
And to me, and I don't know, I know this happened before me, you know, if you got District 2 and District 1, which District 2 is closer to Chapel Park, and that's one of the issues that I was having, you know, how District 3 ended up going that far down the interstate or Old Covington Highway. That was one of the issues that I was having.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's why I was talking to you about, I didn't think District 3 should go that far when we don't really go out there in that area. And then I was looking at, go to Plan B, please. Now, Plan B, I look at it, you got District 3 going out there. And that's pretty much what we was looking like in the beginning. And 20 years ago, you go back to Plan A, please. Okay, Plan A, when Miss Osa, Bets Williams was in office, Z. Mary was in District 3. And I don't know if any of them can recall that, but I know it was in District 3 because when we went out and getting people to register and stuff, it ended up switching up when Willie Grant got in office. And so it had been in District 3 for the longest, Z. Mary Park.
So that would have been in 2000?
Yes.
20,000?
Yes, in 2000.
Redistricting.
Yeah.
And then it must have moved elsewhere in 2010, or?
No,
No, they're still in it in 2010. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it was in District 2 in 2010.
District 2 in 2010.
Yeah, so it was moved
Right.
out. And so that's one of my concerns because in my area, and I say my area, which is Z-Mary and all the rest of them, I mean, all my life I've been in the area. And all my life I've been talking to the people. First time sitting in a council seat, but I know the area real well. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to remain. I want to get it back in District 3.
Right.
Yeah. Because we talk about walk the park, ride the bike in the park, and it's been in the area for a minute. You know, what got it out the area, I pretty much know what got it out the area, but I like for Ms. Osa to speak on that. You know, I don't want to speak on nobody else. So that's one reason I want to go with Plan A. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone from the public? Come up to the mic, please. Give your name and address.
I was president of Greater Tangipahoa Parish NAACP, number 6058-17536, Rising Fund, Amy, Louisiana. Just real quick, I know we kind of brushed through the plans, A and B. Looking at redistricting, we don't really see the numbers, the deviations. Looking at the map that he just showed, okay, all right, that's what we needed to see on both A and B.
Yeah, and the difference are very, very, the numbers different.
Right, so my concern was these numbers posted on the webpage for the city?
Yes.
They were? Okay, I know the maps were, but I didn't see the actual, the whole thing.
The presentation is attachment 1.
Okay,
This same presentation right here, and then the original statistics were attachment 6. But with the new plans that are in this presentation right here, that's attachment 1.
thanks.
Good morning. My name's Joe Meir, 906 CM Fagan Drive. I have also been looking at the different plans and comparing them to our current district map plan and on the numbers that are showing as far as the population numbers. And as the presenter has mentioned multiple times, the object of this is to balance out our population without disrupting as least amount as possible to the current districts of people that were elected in those current districts. So when you look at District 2, out of all these districts, was the one that was the only one that met all the requirements of population numbers. So as a number of our residents stated at our council meeting Tuesday night, Plan B appears to be the plan that will do the least amount of disruption to all the districts. And if there was to be additional population numbers moved, my question would be, why would it not come from the districts 3 and 4 who are next to one another, and one being high, one being low? Those numbers should have been swapping from those two districts rather than impacting a district that met the requirements and did not need any disruption. So I'm asking the council to support Plan B on this redistricting.
All I wanted to say on that was District 2's in the middle, so therefore it's going to be the most usually disrupted because District 4 can't go west because it's on the edge. District 1 can't go east because it's on the edge. District in the middle usually typically is one that's going to kind of get messed with the most because it's got to go, we got to go some which way. And then sometimes the blocks, when he moves the blocks around, it doesn't add up correctly whenever that happens, when you just take them from us, from 3 and 4.
Well, I can understand what you're saying, Sam, but again, 3 and 4 are next to one another. Just because 2 is in the middle doesn't mean 2 needs to be the one that's impacted by the changes. I would say if it was 3 and 1, I could say, okay, I can see why they have to pull it out of 2. But having the districts touching one another, I don't think there's any, are there any federal rules that says it has to come from a middle district? No. Yeah. So, you know, it just seems to me that District 2 did not have any deviations that was a problem. 3 and 4 did, 5 and 1 did. So it just seems to me that it doesn't make sense to disrupt a district that has already met all the population numbers. The people of those districts voted for their candidate to be their candidate for that district. And if Plan A gets chosen, it's going to bring question to our city because the number, I watched the council meeting Tuesday night. I don't think we had one person at the council meeting that supported Plan A that was here Tuesday night. And the number of people I've spoke to and explained and showed what's the deal with the redistricting said, well, it looks like Plan B should be the plan because it's the least amount of disruption and it achieves the numbers that is required by law.
While you're up here, okay, Plan A, Plan B, as you recommend. We go with Plan B now. You know how far Ms. Gonzalez will be in District 3?
I don't know, Mr.
Okay, so, and I say that, you know, and I'm not gonna go back and forth with nobody, but this what's going on. From Plan B right now, Ms. Gonzalez gonna go from Washington Avenue all the way to 2nd Avenue. You know how 2nd Avenue look?
I don't.
You know how Washington Avenue look?
I do.
Okay. Both of them in the same boat. And it's a bad community. And then I'm gonna say this here. Not one time in 3.5 years, Ms. Gonzalez supported anything in District 3. Not one time. District 3 is the same district that got the sewer issues. And it's amazing how you and anybody else can get up here and talk, and yet I never heard none of y'all say nothing about the sewer in District 3. So, no, just wait. Give me my time. And I'm saying this here, I've been respecting you a long time. You heard every cry. You saw my tears. So, yes, I'm real passionate when it comes to District 3. And you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes, because I don't want nobody to interrupt it. Just like Gonzalez, just like Leon, Andrew, Sam, don't nobody want to interrupt it. But this is something that we have to do. But I don't hear nobody crying when I talk about the crime in District 3. We don't even get police there. And yet I'm voting on the police to get a raise. So see the hell I go through when I leave here? You don't know it. You don't have no issues in your area. We got 1,000 issues in District 3. And you know what they see? They see me. You know, you stand up here and talk, you ain't never saw the map yourself. You ain't been down 2nd Avenue.
I've been in your neighborhood a good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm saying,
I've actually supported and continue to support District 3 in growth, housing study, all these different things that we're trying to help our entire city, which I need you to also focus on.
I know what you're trying to do.
Let me finish now.
yeah, I know what you're trying to do, but I'm gonna tell you this here.
Let me
You the
finish.
same, no, you the same
Let
one.
me finish.
No, you the same one, worry about the
Finish.
apartments, trying to get the apartments in District 3. So you know what? You the same one, standing up there now, you know we got a sewer issue. So what I look like, letting 600, 2,000, 4,000 more residents come in District 3, I wanna hear you talk about the sewer. That's what I've been talking about. Now you can finish.
I have talked about our infrastructure. I have talked to my mayor. I have talked to different people in our city about the needs of our entire city. Devon, I have done a lot of work that I support in District 3. I have talked to numerous people that the most opportunity that we have in the city of Hammond is Greenville Park. I see new construction happening in Greenville Park right now, single-family homes. So I understand that your passion, that's where your family lives, that's where you live, but I am for the city of Hammond, not just a single district.
Okay, and see what you just said? With the railroad spur, I'm for the city of Hammond. You know how long, right back there where you at, right back there where you at, you know the economic, you know what's going on. Not one time did you address the mayor now about charging the railroad from taking them cars back there? Did you address them?
When I was on the Economic Development Board,
I know.
we talked about that, and we needed to do that.
What year that was?
We're in 2022 now?
Yeah.
Probably 8 years ago?
8 years ago. And you know what it took? It took us, the city councilmen, to get it done. And you know what? I heard you talk, all those people you said you talked to. Who represent District 3?
You at-
Right now, who represent District 3?
You at the present time.
All those people you said you talked to, not one time. And I was waiting, because you stood up before me a long time ago talking about my Uncle TC and stuff. And I tell people, when you hear names, that's to get your attention. And that's for you to kind of vote the way they want you to vote. Now, you know I represent District 3. All those people you said you talked to, not one time that you said, Devon, I reached out to you, I want to talk to you, see what difference that we can make in District 3. Not one time. So see, that's what I pay attention to.
Have you reached out to me, Devon? I'm a citizen. Have you reached out to me? Don't play that with me.
I know, sir. You know, we're not gonna get
Not
into
gonna-
it.
This is about this morning.
I know, but I'm just
You wanna
saying.
have a cup of coffee and you and I sit down and talk? Reach out to me. I'll be happy to. Any one of you. I
Sir,
love my city.
sir,
I love my city.
You know
I
what?
represent the whole city as a citizen of Hammond.
I know you do. And guess what? I guarantee you, and this coming from me, I bet you don't love as much as me. See, you don't know. Yeah, you say that. See, you don't.
1999, you've been here your whole life. I understand that. 1999, you know how many people I knew in Tangipahoa Parish? One.
All right,
One.
gentlemen, let's stick to the matters at hand. Thank you. Anyone else from the
Yeah,
public?
I want
Oh,
to clarify.
Sorry, go ahead,
Sorry.
Carla.
Excuse me. Under Plan B, I think the statement was made, Gonzalez would go into District 3. Currently, as it sits, that area around Zamurray, which goes to Second Avenue and borders on Washington Avenue, is currently in the District of 2. It has been for at least 10 years, possibly 20 years. So I don't go into District 3. I represent District 2, which encompasses the area of Zamurray Park, including those areas around there. Also, to clarify, I have voted on many things for District 3, including things that you voted against because I felt like it was in the interest of District 3. So I just wanted to clarify that that statement is wholly incorrect. We have every one of us have unanimously voted for things to benefit District 3, 4, 1, 2, and 5.
Well, District 2, let me make sure I'm saying this all right. Where we at? Okay, yes, Gonzalez, you're in District 2. District 2, from Z Mary to Center Street. Look at it.
This is the current map. You want to see it?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. That where it stop at. You know, it don't go all the way down Washington.
No, it stops at Stanley, East Stanley Street.
Yeah, and so.
And that's what Plan B does.
That's
as
what
well.
you look at. And so that's all I want to say. And for you sitting up there and you know what's going on, you know we talk about the sewer one time. Yeah, you know why? Anytime the mayor decide he want to put money into something, now I wasn't going to vote on it because you know why? I knew they had more money coming down the pipeline for the sewer. That's why that $750,000 they kept talking about, no, I wasn't going to accept it. When they had more money to come, and long as I've been sitting here, I never known the mayor to give up money that fast. And so if he give up money that fast, it's for a reason.
Yeah, very much so. The reason to help your district. Just like you grandstand on the fact that the railroad was done because of you. Lacey Landrum and Andre was in the process of working up contracts for those companies to pay for that spur. So don't grandstand on something that was already started.
If it was started, you had Chuck, and I'm not going to sit here and call out these names. You had Chuck to stand up here and say the city had got a grant to give them that. No, the city got a grant to run water and sewer back there.
Well, I want to make a quick statement on that railroad spur, and that is that railroad spur has been there for a long time, but you can't take the credit away from Councilman Wells by pushing that issue on getting that done because it got done pretty quickly and done.
Because it was already in progress.
It was. If it was, that's not
We
a really
focus
good
on
sign
the-
because
President
it was
Andrews.
let me finish first. It was in progress for 8 years, and then it somehow got done in 2. That doesn't make any sense. So all I'm gonna say is the reason why that was done was he was pushing the issue, and the support of the council, of all the council, was on board with that. So you know that should have been a long time ago, and it wasn't. And it was going on for many years until that issue was brought up. So on a railroad spur, that's what really happened. So that's what the people need to know. So,
President Andrews, can the citizens ask for a point of order and please get back to our
Okay.
agenda?
Anyone else from the public on the maps?
Mike Rocker, 511 North General Pershing. I just want to say that I support Plan B because it closely mimics what we have currently today. The residents that voted to put y'all in office. Thank you.
I still didn't get to see the numbers for Plan A or B, real quick, if we can do that.
Go ahead, Frank.
Frank DiVittorio, 1 Norbrook Circle, District 5. A couple of things. Just to address Mr. Muir's point, since nobody else, you can't just move the line just wherever. Yes, they're next to each other, but there's, and I'm sure Dr. Blair can explain that to you, probably if you had reached out to him, but you can't just move the line because they're next to each other. There's limitations in terms of blocks and shapes and whatnot. And so just because they're next to each other doesn't mean the perfect block exists. The demographics can throw things out of whack. The populations can throw things out of whack. So it's not as simple as it sounds. Look at the picture. They're next to each other. Just move a line because you can't just put the line wherever you feel like. Census blocks. You're limited to census blocks, which generally follow roads, but they're not always. It might be some census blocks are 1 square block. Some census blocks are bigger, smaller. So,
I think Plan B shows you can just move a couple of lines. I
so,
think it does,
Hey, Blair,
which is the point.
Bill,
So
can you come up here a second and answer that?
and the other thing, the other point is just that one of these maps, the District 2 and 3 switch parks, they both had a park, they both still have, it doesn't change the number of parks. And the residents, I do believe that the residents in or around Z-Murray more closely reflect the majority of District 3, and the residents in and around District, the finger, I call it, the park, the other part, are more represented by the majority of District 2.
Oh, just a question, going back and forth about the census blocks and population about, sometimes the census blocks are together to where you just can't just move the line because the block is the block.
Yes, we are limited to what the census has given Hammond as its jigsaw puzzles being census blocks. Some have 5 people in them, some have 400 people in them. And that sort of can be a limiting factor on how we actually confect the district.
But using those census blocks, Plan B meets those requirements also.
They both do. Both these plans accomplish what we need to accomplish. It's just the decision of the council which way they want to go.
Do you want to go over the numbers for Plan A and Plan B? I think Mr. Showers had requested that.
The PowerPoint, Plan B is cut off for some reason. But let's start with Plan A, and I have the statistics here for Plan B. So all the 5 districts in both of these plans are within the population deviation of plus or minus 5%. The 2 minority districts, District 1 has a voting age population of about 57%. District 3 has a voting age population black of around 75%. And then in Plan B, which is cut off here, but
It's online.
It is? Okay.
online, yeah.
District 1 is still about 56.6, 57% voting age population black, and District 3 drops to 71% voting age black. So those were our 2 current ones.
Why is it cut off up there?
Blame PowerPoint.
Okay.
If I could just add to that, the current, for the last 10 years, what it has been is District 1 has been 56.13 black majority, and District 3 was 67. So in both plans, you're creating a stronger minority majority district by percentages at least, and under both plans than what we currently have. And they mimic pretty much what we have currently been under for the past 10 years.
Got it. And there's the Plan B statistics, which I just named, ran off for you. We don't have this online, but I'm just going to tell you what it was. During the,
It is online, Doctor. Just go up 2 slides.
well, that's not even, well, the malapportionment is instructive because that's where we start. But because these are the districts that are out of population equality, the statistics are a bit irrelevant in the sense that we have to adjust those populations around to get them to plus or minus 5% to get within the acceptable deviation for our population. So, and that's why we draw the plans A and B, to get to that and achieve that and try and maintain our minority districts. I will tell you, the plan that was drawn in 2010 for Hammond, now recall also that these are sort of apples and oranges in the sense that the corporate limit lines weren't the same 10 years ago. Population is different than it was 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, the voting age population of District 1 was 59%. District 3 was 70%. So we're right in line with what it was 10 years ago, even with the changes in the population distribution within the city and the content of the population within the city, totally. So
look, I'm looking at the numbers for District 1. So, give me the, let me see it on district, this is what, B I'm looking at right now?
no, this is the malapportionment, when, that's your current districts as they exist today,
Okay,
or we've had to equalize the population within them. You want to go back to A and B?
yes, please.
Sure. Here's A.
Okay, now let me see B, please.
To the opposite.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
One thing I meant to say earlier also is just that the people who have spoken out in opposition to Plan A, or it seemed to be, the ones I've known, which includes, I think, all of them actually, are all in District 2 now. Most of, except probably one, is within a few blocks of the college. They're in District 2 now. Under Plan A, they're going to still be in District 2. The representation isn't changing.
That's not totally true. There's been at least one person who would be now in District 3 who spoke at the last meeting.
The character of the district hasn't changed. I'd like to hear which one.
It's Ignatius. His house now goes in District 3.
Well, if it go in District 3, he's gonna be represented by a good person. I think so.
I was just making sure that we were factual.
Oh, yeah, no, he gonna be
was totally factual.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be represented by a good person, because I'm in District 3 right now.
Let me just state for the record, as far as redistricting, when it comes to the NAACP, and we're looking for minority representation, when I see the numbers, I see packing, unfortunately, I see packing according to the Voters' Right Act, Section 2, may be in violation in District 3 there. So based upon the maps that I see before me, and you guys get to vote on it however you want to, but as far as the NAACP standpoint, we don't support either maps. And so I just wanted to put that on record, just in case there's litigation that follows. So I just wanted to put that.
Mr. Showers, can you explain what packing is?
Packing, when you put a certain group of people in a district and you pack them, and that dilutes the voting of those people. So in District 3, you see it's at 73%. That's a lot. 73%, that's a lot. And so
Yeah,
that's packing.
I got you.
And then, right now, Mr. Blair, okay, Ms. Osa is in here, and she was representing District 3 at the time they took Z. Mary Park out of District 3. So I definitely would like her to speak. Yes, ma'am, you can come up to the front. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Osa Williams, 700 Natchez Street, Hammond, Louisiana. Former City Council District 3 member. I served from the election in, I guess, 1998 to 2002, I guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's been a long time ago. My concern about this redistricting map is that I don't know if enough consideration was given to it, because we are beginning to chop our city up in ways that, in my opinion, is unmerited. And if we continue to do this, we're going to continue to dilute who can run for city council in which districts. And I'm looking at District 1, and I'm a little blurry this morning but I don't, that district was probably at one time, what, about 65% African American? And now, look at it. Big difference, huh? District 3, pretty much the same. But I'm here to talk about the recreational amenities, the hope of home ownership, and some of the things that young people, of all races, but specifically African American, who are going outside of our city to find dwellings, to move into just to have a decent home to live in, whereas there are properties that are blighted right now and have been, that they should have had the opportunity to come in and purchase and rebuild where they grew up. Now, I've lived in my house at 700 Natchez Street since September of 1980, and I'm still there. I've worked on it, and I'm still working on it. Z. Murray Park was in District 3 at that time, and I went to Stephen, I can't remember his last name, in Washington, D.C. to talk about whatever happened to get Z. Murray Park out of District 3, but he was never able to get to the bottom of it. So I had to think that someone changed some paperwork once the adoption of the redistricting was done. I was appalled at that, because during that time, my fight was president and vice president of city council had no right to dominate the day-to-day business of what our responsibilities were, and the rest of us were just there. We were fixtures. And I don't want to see that happen again. It's gotten to the point where we as citizens don't know where we stand anywhere, but most especially in our home districts. It just appears that all of our systems have just gone awry, change, whichever pronunciation you choose to use. But it's bad, and I would like very much to see Z. Murray Park placed back in District 3 where it belongs. We don't have a pool at Mooney Park. There are some new amenities, yes, but are they sufficient for the community? So I'm here today to ask that you really look at this redistricting plan and make sure in your hearts and minds that it is fair, it's equitable to all citizens, and that it is most of all necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Osa.
Anyone else?
Let me just, if I could, I don't get the whole idea of if something's in District 3, then the people will go to District 3. I mean, people from all over the city, people outside the city can use the Murray Pool. We can all go to each other's parks. We're all citizens of Hammond. Whether the pool in the park is in District 2 or it's in district, from someone completely across the city. What does that matter for the purposes of the people being able to use them and having, as long as you have good representation, which I feel I am for District 2, I'm sorry, I do. I think, and for Zamurray Park, I don't understand the need to take it. My guess, and it's just a guess, is that just like right now in 2000, after the 2000 census, all it took was 3 votes to change the lines. And so possibly you were in the minority, Ms. Osa, and I think that that's wrong, because if I'm in the minority in this one, Zamurray's going to be taken away from me, which I don't want. And so it happened to you. I don't think we should keep doing this. Quit flip-flopping that park in other areas where people don't understand why it's happening. That is the whole point, it seems to me, of keeping the lines as close as possible. For the past 22 years, or at least the past 10 years, for the past 22 years, Zamurray Park has been in District 2. All these other areas have been probably very close to the lines that are in Plan B. So I don't see the reason to continuously redraw these lines, and I don't think this should be so contentious. Sure, yeah. Yeah.
I think the point is that historically, you look at Zamurray Park, it's always been in District 3, number one. And number two, you look at the hours of Zamurray Park, the access, the limitations, especially for people who look like me. We have not a lot of access to Zamurray Park. That's one of the concerns. Whereas in the majority of races, they didn't go to Zamurray Park because we had so much access. I mean, I'm just going to put it on the table and be real.
What is prohibiting your access? That's what I'm confused
What time
about.
does Zamurray Park close? What time does the gate
It's
close?
sundown.
Sundown.
But that's for every park.
Okay, so during that time period, the time availabilities were different. And when you look at the construct of Zamurray Park, it's totally different. And let's be real, it's for economic reasons.
What is for the sundown
No.
closing?
Yeah, both the sundown closure and the reconstruction of it. Because it makes it less appealing for some people to want to be able to go in and be free to use the parks and have access to the park. So when you talk about flip-flopping, it's only been flipped once, and that was when I was on the council.
Right.
And it is my belief that it needs to be restored and permanently restored. I'm not talking about flipping, flopping, and going back and forth. I'm talking about putting it where it should have stayed. I mean, it's just like if you pick this building up, this is a hub right now. This city council chamber is a hub for Hammond. If you picked it up and put it over in Greenville Park, there would be some pushback on that. So I don't think, I mean, maybe you think I'm mixing apples and oranges, yes, but the point is, regardless of what the facility is, my point is that Zamurray Park has always been a part of District 3. The people of District 3 was always comfortable being able to go to Zamurray Park.
And
You don't have nearly as much utilization now.
do you think that's because it's now in District 2, even though some people say that people don't even know who their council person is?
Perception of usage, of availability, of permission for access. I think it's the perception.
Do
And
people in District 3 think they need permission to use the Murray Park from the council member?
Well, I mean, I've had to go out there and have events, and I had to fill out forms. I mean,
But that's the
we just do all
mayor.
parks, yeah. I mean,
That's the mayor.
We
It has
do
nothing to do
every
with the
park.
council person.
But what I'm saying to you is that, yes, it's true now of pretty much all parks, I guess, that you have to do certain documentation for certain events,
To the mayor.
regardless. But the bottom line point is this. Zimmer Park's origin is District 3, and that is where my point is going, that it should go back to District 3 to its origin. And nobody wants to lose, but then you think about the lines, they were also redrawn so that part of District 3 went all the way into
Villa West.
Villa West. So we had to go across the highway to complete the district, where we were in an area where there was already equal representation. Look at the growth in District 3. Look at the growth. I've got a mega mess down the street from my house in the name of an apartment complex. Okay? I'm sure that the numbers within the district are going to change.
Absolutely.
Just because of that apartment complex. There are 2 others that are in District 3. The numbers are going to change just by virtue of those 3 new multiplexes coming into District 3. So when you think about it and you look at the numbers, that's going to make a difference too, even in the redistricting. But are they counted? No, because census has happened. And if they were counted, I guarantee you that Zimmer would go back into District 3.
And I'm going to say this here. Thank you, Ms. Olson. And I know y'all don't really know what she's saying, but let me explain it to you. When Zimmer was in District 3, we didn't have all these rules and regulations. No, we never filled out a form to go to the park for a picnic. We never filled out a form to go have a graduation celebration. No, we didn't have to do that. Because you know what? We felt like Zimmer was home. That's what she talking about. Now, you can't park on the grass. These are things that we go through. I know you all don't know. See, in Mooney, you can ride all the way in the park. We have no barricade in Mooney Park. But in Zimmer, you got over 50-some signs, no park on the grass. I know you don't understand because you know what? You all don't visit the park or stay in the park like we do. But when we used to go to Zimmer, yeah, we felt at home. Mr. Showers know this here. Ms. Osa know this here. I know this here. Yeah, so it's a change. In Zimmer, just yesterday, we see a police in Zimmer. In Mooney Park, we don't see no police in Mooney Park. You know why the police there? See, blacks, I know you don't know, blacks gonna always fear police. You know, when we was born, they taught us to fear police, and we still fear police. I asked for police to be in Mooney Park. The same thing Zimmer get. I asked for the same thing. Cape Park, go by Cape Park. I'm looking at the police, study circling around Cape Park. That's all I asked for. So no, you're not gonna understand. So we can sit here, the rules, the regulations. We know when rules come up, who it affect, I can see it. It affects the blacks. No, it don't affect the whites. So I heard Ms. Gonzalez talking about minority. That's the last word ought to come out of your mouth. Because I'm saying we've been a minority since we was born. So be careful with the words. Because we
Not
know.
allowed to use language
Yeah, okay,
as representing people
okay.
and advocating for people?
Yeah, we got somebody want to talk.
So I'm hearing again how we are splitting our city in districts rather than a city of Hammond. What I do see is in the last 10 years, since the census was done in the last 10 years, I would say, and I am guessing, I'm sure somebody would know this number better than me, but I do recall a $700,000 pond improvement. That was one project in Zimmer Park that was done by the city of Hammond, all council members. We had a pool $3.2 million project that was pushed by a councilman that wasn't in Councilman 2 or in Council District 3. It was in Council District 4 that pushed to get a pool and worked together with the city council and with the administration and got a pool put in at Zameri Park. But again, we're talking about the agenda and the numbers of the population. How many people live in Zameri Park?
My wife will tell you that. She just come out of there this morning.
Live.
Yeah, ask my wife. She'll tell
The
you.
residents,
My wife, yeah, my wife will tell you. Yeah, she'll tell you. She just come out of Z-Mary this morning. You know how many people she saw? She saw 3 homeless people living in Z-Mary. Yeah, that's what she saw this
And
morning.
there was 2 by the racetrack this morning when I got gas, homeless people.
Yeah.
We have homeless people.
Yeah.
Back to this agenda. So the population numbers, according to what's been done here, it looks to me, looking at the population numbers, that both plans meet the requirements of the numbers, but again, Plan B does less disruption to all the districts than what Plan A does. That's all.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning,
My
sir.
name's Kent Carroll, 603 Rue St. Martin here in Hammond. I've lived here all my life. Most of y'all know me, except my own, you councilman. How you doing?
How you doing? Good, good.
Went to school with some. Some were block captains, worked with some. Others I know. They've seen me around. And I was chairperson for the Safety Committee in District 2. I lived there for 54 years, and I was over Crime Watch. And I see what's going on in this plan, these proposed plans. I know the way most people are looking at it. I don't like Plan B. I don't like Plan A. I'm looking at Plan B. I like Plan B better because I see what's going on. I know what's going on. There's a lot to be said for the overall development and improvement of Hammond, but not at the cost of being unfair. Unfair. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else from the council?
I make a motion to approve Plan A.
Second.
Councilman Andrews?
No.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
No.
Councilman Wells?
Yes.
Councilman DiVittorio?
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
I make a motion to approve Plan B.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilman Andrews?
Aye.
Councilman DiVittorio?
No.
Councilman Wells?
No.
Councilman Leon?
And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.